What's up, guys? It's Frog Aggressor. It's good to be back. It's been a while, but I'm ready to get into it. Ready to get into it with you guys. So, I suppose I should explain why things look a bit different this evening. A little bit different. We're going with the infrared camera. This is the camcorder I use for a lot of my skate videos, and we're using it this evening because I'm trying to capture some wildlife, capture some nocturnal activity, because it'll probably make more sense once we start to get into it. But we've been making a lot of revelations recently. A lot of things have become clear to me because of an experience I had recently. So that experience all has to do with this. It's right here. Let me get that. So this is the exhaust fan in my bathroom. And what's been going on recently is I've been hearing noises coming from this thing. And I turn on the light so you can get a better look at it. But I think that would ruin the investigation that I want to do. I want to document something tonight. And what I want to document is the wasp colony that's been living inside here. I know it sounds insane, and it was so insane when I first realized what was going on that I stopped and I stared at the exhaust vent for, it was probably like an hour. An hour I was standing here in the bathroom staring at the exhaust vent, listening to the buzz and the hum of the colony of wasps doing their work. And I was thinking to myself, why on earth would wasps be in there? I've never heard of that in my life. Has anyone else ever heard of that in their life? Wasps in an indoor exhaust vent, building a colony, having their young, making it their own. And doing what? What are they doing? How are they getting in? How are they getting out? What's their motive? What's their motivation for being in there? And I think it was being so in tune with my gut instinct kicked in. And I realized, sorry, I'll turn the zoom. I realized that there was something weird about this, something freaky. And I said to myself, I need to investigate this further. This is important. I need to document this. I need to figure out what's going on. So I spent about 6 hours this first night. I realized I should have got the camcorder out and got the VR going and all that sort of stuff. But at the time I didn't think of it because I was so distracted by what was going on. And I just spent 6 hours in my bathroom with the lights off. And the reason the lights are off is because the activity only occurs in pitch dark. What we've got going on right now is just the right conditions for them to show themselves. And I realized this after about 3 hours. I was turning the light on and off, and I was getting the camera up close inside. I was looking in there, I was having a sticky beak and things. And I was trying to figure out how I was hearing these noises late at night when I was asleep, waking up to the sound of buzzing coming from my exhaust vent. The insanity of that. And then trying to figure out what was going on with it, thinking maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm the insane person that's looking for wasps in their exhaust vent because they heard buzzing in a wakeful state, coming out of a dream state. Unbelievable. But I did witness them for real. And I know that they're in there. And what I want to do tonight is to capture real documentary evidence of the wasps living in my exhaust vent. And I want to talk a little bit about my theory as to what that means, because a few other weird things have happened recently, and all of this is going to sound insane. But we'll start with the wasps, and we'll get a little bit more into it as the night goes on. The activity seems pretty low right now. So I'll check back in maybe 20 minutes or so and see if we can capture anything. So stay tuned. Alright, so now it's about 12 a.m. It was about 11:30 when I checked in last, I've been making some food, doing some things, trying to stay quiet to see if we can get some activity going on. Nothing going on so far. Let me just show you. Checking back in at the vent. The wasp station, ground zero. No activity yet. Let me speak on my theory a little bit whilst we're waiting for something to happen. Alright. So, I had this revelation when I was hanging out with the wasps in the bathroom that night. I had a revelation unto myself, which was that, you know, in like the Matrix, how there's the agents, the agency, and they can tell when somebody's onto the mysteries, onto the shadow government, onto the system, the network that is the hive mind. They tune into it and they start to break out of the thought pattern that they're meant to be within, and the system starts to send agents, beings that can control, can sort of go in and remove dissidents from the system itself before they cause any harm. And what I'm thinking is, besides being, there has to be like another level before the agents come, right? So there has to be sort of a surveillance level where they catch on to what you're thinking about, like the thought crimes you're committing, your patterns of thought are changing, and your behavior starts changing, and something is observing this, and then it starts to alert a node. I don't know how the systems actually work within something like that, like a Matrix type reality, but I'm thinking that perhaps something like a wasp or some other kind of animal that would go undetected can get within your home. That would work perfectly for like a surveillance type being, something that can monitor you, listen to the things you're thinking about whilst you're sleeping. Which, let me just show you exactly what we're dealing with here. So this is the exhaust fan, and this is where I sleep right here. Okay. So it just seems a little bit curious to me that they were, because we're in a, like, very far into a building right here. You know, we're not close to an exterior where the wasps would be wanting to hang out so they can go out and get food and things. So I'm thinking they're here for one purpose, and that purpose is to listen to my thoughts whilst I sleep and report that back to a node or to a central unit. And then from there, it can escalate issues. And I'm thinking that's what's happening. I think I'm being monitored by the wasps, who are surveillance drones for a larger control system. That's the basic theory. I don't know how to develop it beyond that, but I'm going to keep investigating. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to try and document some things. I'm going to prove that I'm not crazy about the wasps to begin with. And we'll see if we can capture some other freaky stuff going on as well. But to begin with, I just want to see if we can find some of these things, because it's crazy. Crazy that they're in here. I mean, everyone has wasps around the home. I actually have another place around the home that I can show you where I have wasps. There's another place with wasps. So we'll go check that out soon. And I can show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about wasps. I mean, everyone knows what I'm talking about, but we'll at least go get a frame of reference, a reference point, you know. So we'll head down there in a sec and we'll check it out. But that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Matrix type system, surveillance drones. You think it's a coincidence that when we talk about a piece of technology that's used to surveil someone, used to figure out surreptitiously information about them, we call that bit of technology a bug? I don't think that's a coincidence. If you ask me, that's a little bit too on the nose, as they say. But anyway, we'll head down and we'll check out the other place with wasps. Alright, we'll come downstairs. Sorry, it's so dark. I'm gonna have to use the camera to it's in my way. Actually, I'm gonna grab a snack on the way. Oh man, my housemate's always leaving their robe up hanging near the dryer. Always gets me. I get the jitters at night. And that kind of stuff freaks me out. Seeing that out of the corner of my eye, I think it's a person. When I say snack, I really mean I gave myself a beer, a liquid snack. Oh, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Alright. Let's check out these other wasps. Let's sit that down. Alright, so out on my balcony, I'm gonna be real quiet because it's like late at night and my neighbors got kids and they're probably sleeping. Let's go check it out. Ooh. Here we go. So hang on. Get up in here. I'll just show you this first. You can see the leadings of the mud, etc. from when they were building their nest. And then check this out. Right up in there. Up in there, those guys. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. We've got a wasp nest up in there. This isn't as big as the colony that's in my bed. And I know this from the sound. We'll hop back inside so I can speak up a bit. Let's close this up. So basically, wasps are actually very studious little creatures, little industrious guys, right? So we just got the cops going past. See what I mean? What's that about? We've got the cops going past right as I'm making this video. I live in the quietest area, like a little shopping area. There's no one around. They're doing a drive-by of my building right when I'm filming the wasps. I don't know. But anywho, this is probably pretty boring, so I'll get I'll get my boy Jake is 69 to do some editing over the top of this. We'll get some infographics and things about wasps going on. But basically, they're very industrious little creatures. They'll fly back and forth between the nest all day long, building these nests, these huge, elaborate architectural forms, basically. Kind of like a beehive, but zoologically or entomologically speaking, the motivations of wasps and bees are very different. So wasps, everything is about feeding and procreating. So producing more of their own and consuming other creatures. So they're carnivorous, in fact, wasps. So they'll go and actually kill other insects. Whereas a bee, there's more of a society involved. There's a civilization going on. They're building, they're producing a product, they're making the honey, all those sorts of things. So you can see those motivations fit more with a humanistic view of nature. But wasps, they've kind of got something more primal or like robotic about them. And the way I see things is the very primal and the very futuristic. They almost intersect. It's like a parabola effect with development. So it's kind of like you have a very primal being like the wasp or other insects of their nature or other apex predators with the lizard brain. And those things work on a very logical basis. They're all about producing more, being efficient, consuming, and they do everything in the most elaborately efficient manner. And it's like fine-tuned machine by nature. And with technology, say with AI, things like that, eventually it's going to spiral down into something similar where it's just super efficient and it's all about producing and consuming, you know, and it's about fine-tuning that system. And I think that might be what we're dealing with right now. I don't know how long we've been dealing with this, whether we're the first generation that's entered into this system, or whether it may have been something that's been going on for years and years and years, perhaps millennia. Being stuck in this cyber world, this cyber universe, controlled by unknown beings who send their malicious little surveillance drones out to spy on us. Speaking of, let's get back in here and have a look. I have a feeling because it's because I'm talking too much, making too much of a racket, and these guys, they're kind of clued onto it, or perhaps they're activated by some kind of sleep cycle, like the REM patterns of my mind sort of triggers their activity and they come out just at the right time. And they're all hubbub, buzzing around, gleefully collecting information. Aberrant thoughts that I'm having in my mind. Aberrant thoughts like perhaps there is an agency after me. Perhaps they're interested in what I'm thinking. Perhaps they need to control me. I don't know. These are just some thoughts I've been having recently, some revelations I've been having. But I guess they're gonna stay pretty quiet for now. I might give it another half hour and I'll check back in with you guys. We'll see if we can document these guys. Alright, stay tuned.
Say cheese! Do you have too many teeth?
How many teeth are you supposed to have? Alright guys, if you're just tuning in, we're investigating a colony of wasps. I know this sounds crazy, living in my bathroom in the exhaust vent. You guys have been driving me insane, but they've led me to an amazing discovery, an amazing revelation or epiphany about the world we live in. And I'm going to reveal a few more little factoids to you guys now, based on what I've experienced over the past couple of weeks. So shortly after the night of the wasps, as I like to call it, when I first noticed what was going on, I was approached by a stranger on the street. This man, I can't remember what he looked like. It was like he moved too fast, he was a blur, and I couldn't take in any of his features of his face. But he bumped past me as I was exiting my apartment one evening, sort of on dusk, and he held my hand as he passed, which it freaked me out a little bit, but I froze and clammed up, and he exchanged an SD card into my hand, sort of like a drug deal, like a plug, the way they make a deal. And it was so smooth and so strange, the way that he moved, that it froze me, and I didn't move for I think maybe 2 minutes. I was just standing there dumbfounded in the street, holding onto this SD card clutched in my hands. It's kind of like time froze, you know, in the movies when time freezes and all the cars and the people stop moving and then everything starts again. It was that huge mad rush. That happened to me, and I came back into my own body. It was like an out-of-body experience. Came back in, holding the card, and I was, this is important. Here's another important moment for me. So I brought it back inside, and I loaded it up. It's an application. So I installed it on my computer, this application, probably silly. But the things that I've learned through this application, it was a web browser, kind of like a Tor dark web browser, but beyond that, it was kind of like, if you can imagine, the dark web allows you to navigate the regular web. in a clandestine manner. This was outside of the web. This was outside of perhaps even the reality that we live in, the system that we're within, that I've realized we're within. And my gut feeling was just that I had to follow this immediately and to learn everything I could before it was taken from me. Because I had this realization about the wasps, how they were surveilling me. And then it was kind of like the fuse was lit, you know? The fuse was lit and I was on. I had to investigate it as fast as I could and learn as much as I could. So what I did, I logged in, it was encrypted, everything was encrypted, I had to make a password, all of this stuff. And I finally get into this thing that loads up and it's kind of like an early 90s dungeon crawling 3D video game. If I had to describe how the browser looked, I know that sounds strange, but that's what it was like. It was like a video game, like the golden era of the Nintendo 64 and arcade games like the Sega, that kind of thing. And I'm crawling through this dungeon, opening doors, and I'm looking around grimy little grottos, and I come across this wizard type character. He comes out of nowhere from behind a sort of like, you know, where they put like the torch in the crevice in the wall. He sort of comes out from beyond one of those. Freaks me the fuck out because I'm absorbed in the game by this point in time, the web browser software. He comes out and he says, "I'm Virgil, I'm your guide." You know, like Dante's Inferno, like Virgil. And the insane thing is, well, the clever thing is about whoever designed this, whoever showed this to me, was that Virgil was guiding me through hell. He was demonstrating to me that the world we live in is a tiered structure, an architecturally refined structure, almost like a hellscape. And it's all designed around one principle, which is consumption and production. And I realized that the synergies between what I was seeing in this web browser, in the hellscape that Virgil was guiding me through, and what I'd gathered from studying wasps, there were so many similarities, and it was just the biggest revelation to me. And that's why I'm sharing with you guys now, because I think I'm really onto something. And do you hear that? I think we got some wasp activity. Alright, hang on. Let me get this set up on like a tripod or something so we can capture what's happening. Oh, this is insane. This is the busiest I've ever heard them. Oh, wow. Are you guys seeing this? This is in my bathroom. This is in my exhaust vent, just hanging out. These guys are remote viewing my dreams, reporting back to a central node. These guys? This is what we're dealing with? What are we supposed to do with this? How are we supposed to comprehend the insanity? Oh my god. You see how they're phasing in and out? Almost like a glitch. I cannot capture this. Yo. What the fuck? That was the porch door, if you guys didn't realize. Yo. I closed that up for sure. is wide open. What is going on? Oh my god. I'm so freaked out right now. I swear I'm gonna review the footage. I latched this shit up. And now it's just wide open. That is unreal. I guess the wind is blowing a little bit, and maybe that could have, if I didn't latch it properly, we'll read the footage, but if I didn't latch it properly, maybe that's what it was. I guess we'll just close it up. Oh, it's kind of stuck, hang on. Alright, it's definitely latched this time. So if that happens again, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Alright. Oh my god. I'll shit my pants if that happens again. Yeah, I think I probably want to show you guys some of our new skate gear and the vlogging setup in the car as well. So maybe we'll go do that and then we'll come check back in on the wasps or something. But right now I don't think there's much activity going on, so we'll go do that instead. What the fuck was that? Did you see that thing? That wasn't even a person. That was you. I don't know if you could see it on the camera because the quality's probably not that good because of the infrared. But that thing was like glitching in and out of space. What the fuck was it doing in my apartment? What the fuck? I can see the computer screen, the light on in there. It's still doing something. My gut's telling me, guys, that this is not something to mess with. Something's going on in there. That thing's either, it's there to investigate further what I was up to with that browser, or it's going to take me out full stop. I just had a feeling about that, guys. I was nearly done for. Like, that thing was there for me. I don't think they care about the browser at this point. I think I triggered something with all that talk. Oh, bro. It's still in there. What the fuck do I do? Guys, I got like 2% battery left. I'm gonna have to switch off and then try and capture this thing as it comes out. Okay guys, I saw some movement. I think it's gonna come out soon. I'm just hoping it comes out this way. Super glitchy. Hopefully we can capture it. I'm gonna have to leave this thing stable. gone. Hold up, we have to change settings. What the fuck? Dude. What did it do? You guys, we're back. I'm actually almost excited to see what this thing was up to. And, I'm just going to have to presume that it went straight into that dark browser to look for things. I put over like a keystroke monitor system, so hopefully I captured a little bit of what it was up to whilst it was in there. But we're going to have to hop in and check it out. Let's see if we can bring it up first. I have to keep that password a secret. Sorry, guys. I trust you guys, but not that much. Alright, now let's have a look and see what we got. I can't believe what I'm seeing.